Good day, grade 10s. This is your CAT lesson, and we are covering module 1.8 in the theory section. Okay, so the impact of ICT. Computers have changed and will continue to change society, the way we work, think, and play. As never before, these changes not only happen at a national and global level, but also in our local communities. As each community is unique, the changes will differ depending on the specific needs and circumstances of the community. Okay, so we are going to first take a look at how does ICT influence our lives and lifestyles. So it has changed the way the jobs we do, how we store and watch photos and videos. So in the past, you would have a photo album and DVDs or even video cassettes with your videos on. Our games and music has changed. So now you don't need an MP3 player or a CD player. You can simply log into Spotify or Google Play Music and listen to your favorite song. You can even go onto YouTube. Also, there are many interactive games that we are now able to access directly on our devices. Shopping and banking. No longer do we need to stand in queues. We can simply go online and do the necessary. You can shop through Amazon, Take-A-Lot, even Checkers now through Checkers 6060. You are able to do your grocery shopping. You are able to pull bank statements directly off your phone. Communicate with others. Now, in the past, you would have to phone someone, or you would write them a letter and post it. Now, simply you go onto your phone and through WhatsApp or email, you send a message and they respond almost instantly. The way we interact with friends, as I've said, we use now WhatsApp, Instagram, Telegram, there are Facebook, all sorts of different ways in which we are able to interact and communicate. And the way we obtain and use information, seldomly do people now go to libraries because all the information is available by simply searching in Google. The next one we're going to look at is communication. ICT provides us with a wide variety of ways in which to communicate. Social networking sites and instant messaging allows us to stay in almost constant touch with our friends. So through social, I can see exactly what everyone is doing if they have a Facebook account and they are posting on there. We have instant messaging, so Telegram, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Viber, all different forms of instant messaging. And then there is blogging and email. So these means of communications are also no longer limited to people who own computers or live in cities, because we now have access to them through our smartphones and tablets. This over-availability of communication media also leads to problems of its own. We are never out of reach. So the only time that someone can't get hold of you is if your phone is off. You can never really switch off. The light or sound of smartphones being used in cinemas and other public meeting places is often a source of irritation to the people around them. The next one we're going to look at is access to information. We live in the information age. The competitive edge in business no longer depends only on resources and physical possession or location, but on who has the best information available and who can process this information the quickest. Today, information is considered to be a commodity. People are prepared to pay for services that tell them the latest sports score or stock prices. Companies and individuals are also prepared to pay people to do research on their behalf. So through email, we can access information very quickly. The World Wide Web, SMS and MMS. MMS is multimedia service, so I don't think many people are still using SMSs and MMS now that WhatsApp is around. Cell phone calls, and through TV or radio. Then we're looking at how has ICT influenced leisure. Most of the things we entertain ourselves with these days only require a press of a button. So let us take a look. So movies, music, printed media can all be accessed now via the internet, whether you go on YouTube or on Netflix, Showmax, all of these are now available on your device by simply clicking a button. Video on demand, VOD, your DSTV. Internet TV, this does not use radio signals, it uses internet and will be based on megabytes. Online travel bookings, so if I want to go to Mauritius or I want to fly somewhere, I can simply book my flight, my accommodation, any of the activities I want to do, I can do through online travel bookings. Online computer games. So nowadays, in the past, you would get a CD and you would then download the CD and the contents and play your game. Now simply you stream, you are online, and you can play interactive games with your friends. There's even fitness programs in front of TV with a gaming console. So all sorts of new technology. Okay, then impact on the home office. Save money, use the PC to do the following. I can now type and edit documents using Office 365 or Office 2019, whichever software you have. I can keep track of my accounts. I can communicate with clients and suppliers. I can file and organize client data, so I create my own Access database. So when you get to grade 11, you're going to learn how to use Access. I can advertise my products or my services using Facebook, Instagram, any of the online platforms. How has ICT affected or impacted education? So let's look at the three areas we're going to look at is management, then teachers, and the learners. So we live in a fast changing world. It is thus obvious that the manner in which learners learn and are taught will also change. To keep pace with new developments, ICT can assist learners in absorbing knowledge and ultimately help them prepare them for the changing world tomorrow. Schools should also change to make more use of ICT. Now, through this lockdown, we've actually experienced that where we suddenly had to learn, do all our teaching and learning online. So let's start with the school management. School management can use a special software to create our timetables. They use word processors to produce your exams and your tests and any of your notes and worksheets. They can communicate with your parents through email, SMS, WhatsApp, the D6 Connect. They can calculate marks in spreadsheets, so I can work out the class average, or I can take your marks from the different tests during the term and add them together and give you a term mark. I can market the school via a website. Let's see how teachers use ICT. We use data projectors. So now I can display my PowerPoint on the board and the students will be able to see it. We can have smart boards, the electronic whiteboard. So they are interactive boards that as I write on the board, it will then save it electronically and then I will be able to give that to you afterwards and you will be able to follow the lesson as I wrote it. Lessons and worksheets are now created on the computer. They're no more written out. And then I could possibly use specialized programs for use in geographic information systems, that's your GIS, or science experiments. I can show you YouTube channels. I can do, we can use Delphi. We can use all sorts of software. Now, how can the learners use ICT? Well, probably the most easy and most useful one is getting information. So your teacher discussed a topic and you want to know more about it. So you go into Google this afternoon and you go and research more information on it. You are able now, part of your PAT will be to process your questionnaires in Excel. So you're going to enter all the data from those questionnaires into an Excel spreadsheet, and then you will be able to get information from it, and you'll make graphs and charts from it. You can type up your assignments neatly in Word. You can create diagrams using Paint or SmartArt, and you will be able to take photos and record interviews with your smartphone. So in your PAT, one of the things of using different resources is interviews. So you can go and do an interview with someone, and all you have to do is record the conversation and save it in your PAT folder. You can watch videos to understand how to do something in CAT. You can use social networking sites to share with others on various projects. You can use a typing tutor or a mathematics drill and practice program. So there's many different educational programs available to you, especially for the younger students, like maths games and spelling games, even reading games that will assist them. Okay, the next part, computer criminals, identity thieves. So computer crime is a growing problem, especially as we spend more and more time online, putting more information about ourselves into cyberspace. Now you've learned your PAT is your digital footprint, and doing business outside or business online. Just as in the real world, where there's an opportunity, you will find that criminals appear to take advantage of it. There are many types of computer crime and computer criminals, and we are going to identify the major categories. As I said, the first one, identity thieves. These are people who steal another person's or company's identity in the form of confidential details so that they can pretend to be the company or person whose identity they have stolen. They do this to gain access to secret documents, trade secrets, valuable information, or your money. They can do it to obtain credit or loans or buy goods, so they open accounts in your name. They can spread false information. They can even commit a crime against someone else, and then they will think it is you. The next type of computer criminal we're going to look at is our scammers and phishers. Now, please pay attention to how we spell phishing or phishers. In computer terms, phishing, farming, all of those are spelled with a PH. These are people who want to steal from you. They're usually trying to get access to your identity or your personal information so that they can steal your money and your data. Now, how do they do this? Through phishing. This is to get your banking details. They'll send you an email that looks exactly like your banking account. You'll click on it thinking it is your bank, say for example, ABSA, Standard Bank, or FNB, and then it will be a fake account, and they will then be able to access your information. Setting up fake websites that look like real businesses where you can buy something online, but they really just steal your credit card details in order to commit fraud. Fake virus alarms for you to buy protection software. So they tell you there's this big virus out there and you download or buy this software, and then in actual fact that virus didn't exist. And probably the most famous one is the bogus lottery winnings. You are the 1 millionth customer. Click on this and you will receive 1,000 Rand or 1,000,000 Rand. Okay, this scam has been around as much as probably as long as emails have been around. So it can be investment opportunities, pyramid schemes, etc. The problem is that you either have to give them some money in advance or your financial details. Either way, they get to steal money from you. Then, employees. So how can employees be computer criminals? Employees have easiest access to computers. So they will be able to see company data, okay? Also computer equipment, software, or sensitive information, and probably the most important is computer time can be stolen. So you think, okay, I'm just going to quickly check my Instagram, and an hour and a half later, you are still busy looking at social media instead of doing your work, and that is considered white-collar crime. Then there's always revenge actions against perceived injustices by company. This can cause serious damage to computers or networks. Then our famous hackers and crackers. Hackers and crackers are computer criminals who break into computer systems. We're going to now take a closer look. The first one, hackers. Hackers are mainly for the prestige or recognition white hat. A white hat hacker and a cracker is someone who is intending to perform a crime. So let's look at hackers. Although it is an enormous challenge for a hacker to break into a computer system, it is usually not done to damage the system. It's just a challenge. However, it still remains a crime to go into someone else's system without authorization. Hackers, your white hat hackers, are often hired legitimately by companies that specialize in computer security. The hackers are used to trace bugs and test their security. So take Microsoft. They will have some people who write antiviruses, and then they have other people who are going to write viruses simply to see how their system would actually handle something like that. Okay. A cracker, their intention is to break into a computer system with the intention of performing some or other crime. Examples are the removal of copy protection on programs and gathering information for misuse. So you hack into a system and you go and release the company's data. Then you are a cracker and legal action can be taken against you, usually prison time. So these guys are usually called black hat hackers. So companies that specialize in computer security sometimes will hire hackers to work for them so that they can test their own software. Then, organized computer crime. This is a reality that it is actually going cyber. So these are people who run large criminal organizations as if they were businesses, involving the use of computers in some way in the process. So running a spam business. They can steal secrets for blackmail. They can copy and sell CDs and DVDs illegally. So if you've bought a Microsoft license, you cannot go and put it on a bunch of different computers and to all your friends, because then you are actually stealing from Microsoft. That license will either be only for one user or up to 3 users. Using computers to forge documents, passports, credit cards. So if you are getting a fake student card, then that is a part of organized computer crime, okay, which is illegal. Okay, so you need to summarize this section and then you need to complete the activity, the written module activity on page 86 for me. Thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you have learned something new about the different computer crimes.